Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the safety of AI-driven vehicles. As we moving forward towards a future filled with automations, AI is playing significant roles in transportations, especially with self-driven or autonomous vehicles. But how safe are they really are? Here's a roadmap for today's presentation. We will start with brief introductions, followed by some key terms. Then we will look at how AI helps preventing accidents, the real-life challenges these systems are facing, and dive into a recent case study. And we will end with the improvements and recommendation, and finally a conclusion. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, AI is known as artificial intelligence, is changing the way we travel. One of its most fascinating applications is the self-driving cars. And since we talk about the self-driving cars, I have two questions for you guys to think about. First, have you guys ever ridden in a self-driving cars? And what what's your opinions on these self-driving cars? Are they truly trustable, or what do you guys think the safety of the self-driving vehicles? And well, that's exactly what we are exploring today. AI can make decisions faster than us. It doesn't get tired or distracted. But does that guarantee safeties? Hmm. So, first of all, unlike humans, AI does not suffer from fatigue or distractions. It doesn't text while driving or get tired late at night. Second, its reaction time is faster than any human could manage, often within milliseconds. And finally, AI use sensors and cameras to achieve 360 degrees awareness. So it can detect objects and other vehicles all around it. These features have a lot of potential to reduce accidents caused by human errors. However, it is not all perfect. There are serious limitations. For examples, AI can struggle in complex environments like heavy traffic, snowstorms, or constructing zones where signs and markings aren't clear. Technical misinterpretations is also a concern. Sometimes the AI misjudge or a situation which can lead to a crash. And then there's the legal and ethical sides, who is responsible if something goes wrong. The manufacturer, the programmer, or the passengers. And this brings us to one of the biggest debates, the ethical dilemma. And I would like to introduce to you guys video. Just one sec.
This is a thought experiment. Let's say at some point in the not so distant future, you're barreling down the highway in your self driving car, and you find yourself boxed in on all sides by other cars. Suddenly, a large, heavy object falls off the truck in front of you. Your car can't stop in time to avoid the collision, so it needs to make a decision. Go straight and hit the object, swerve left into an SUV, or swerve right into a motorcycle. Should it prioritize your safety by hitting the motorcycle, minimize danger to others by not swerving, even if it means hitting the large object and sacrificing your life? Or take the middle ground by hitting the SUV, which has a high passenger safety rating? So, what should the self driving car do? If we were driving that boxed in car in manual mode, whichever way we'd react would be understood as just that, a reaction. not a deliberate decision. It would be an instinctual, panicked move with no forethought or malice. But if a programmer were to instruct the car to make the same move, given conditions it may sense in the future, well, that looks more like premeditated homicide. Now, to be fair, self-driving cars are predicted to dramatically reduce traffic accidents and fatalities by removing human error from the driving equation. Plus, there may be all sorts of other benefits: eased road congestion, decreased harmful emissions, and minimized unproductive and stressful driving time. But accidents can and will still happen, and when they do, their outcomes may be determined months or years in advance by programmers or policymakers. And they'll have some difficult decisions to make. It's tempting to offer up general decision-making principles like minimize harm, but even that quickly leads to morally murky decisions. For example, let's say we have the same initial setup, but now there's a motorcyclist wearing a helmet to your left and another one without a helmet to your right. Which one should your robot car crash into? If you say the biker with the helmet because she's more likely to survive, then aren't you penalizing the responsible motorist? If instead you say the biker without the helmet because he's acting irresponsibly, then you've gone way beyond the initial design principle about minimizing harm, and the robot car is now meting out street justice. The ethical considerations get more complicated here. In both of our scenarios, the underlying design is functioning as a targeting algorithm of sorts. In other words, it's systematically favoring or discriminating against a certain type of object to crash into. And the owners of the target vehicles will suffer the negative consequences of this algorithm through no fault of their own. Our new technologies are opening up many other novel ethical dilemmas. For instance, if you had to choose between a car that would always save as many lives as possible in an accident, or one that would save you at any cost, which would you buy? What happens if the cars start analyzing and factoring in the passengers of the cars and the particulars of their lives? Could it be the case that a random decision is still better than a predetermined one designed to minimize harm? And who should be making all of these decisions anyhow? Programmers? Companies? Governments? Reality may not play out exactly like our thought experiments, but that's not the point. They're designed to isolate and stress test our intuitions on ethics, just like science experiments do for the physical world. Spotting these moral hairpin turns now will help us maneuver the unfamiliar road of technology ethics and allow us to cruise confidently and conscientiously into our brave new future.
Yeah, as the video talks about, imagine a situation where a crash is unavoidable. Should the car protect the driver or the pedestrians? These are difficult questions, and there are no easy answers. AI systems are not yet capable of understanding moral responsibilities the way humans can. To show how these challenges plays out in real life, let's look at a recent example, the Xiaomi Su-Qi crash in China. In March 2025, a Xiaomi Su-Qi equipped with the ADAS failed to recognize a construction zone. It crashed into the sideways, which caused three passengers dead. This tragedy sparked new concerns about whether autonomous systems are truly ready for all environments. It also reminded us that even advanced systems like ADAS can fail. So, what can we do? First, reliability across all driving environments must be improved. The system needs to perform in cities, rural roads, rain and snow, and other serious environments. Second, cybersecurity must be strengthened. AVs can't afford to be hacked. Third, the transparency is needed as well. Users and regulators need to understand how decisions are made by the artificial intelligence. And finally, we need to clear law and ethical guidelines to decide who is accountable. And here's are some recommendations for developers, government, and public. For developers, we should build more strength, strong systems and add redundancy. And for the government, we should establish clear legal standards for AV use. And the public needs more education to build trust in this technology. To wrap it up, AI offers huge benefits in terms of reducing human errors, but for now, challenges remain, especially around trust, decision makings, and legal responsibilities. Before we see widespread adoptions, both the technology and society need time to adapt and develop. Thank you very much for your time, and hope you have a good day.